Hello and welcome to my channel, It's a Tailored Life. My name is Taylor and in today's video we are going to be doing part 2 of my decluttering series. I have been going all around the house finding different areas of my home that need to be decluttered and organized just in preparation for the holidays, and this also helps me a whole lot when it's time to do spring cleaning. It definitely minimizes the amount of mess that I have to deep clean when I've already decluttered a lot of items and organized some things. So today we are going to be working in my bedroom and in my master bathroom, which is actually pretty small, so it's not a whole lot of work in my master bathroom, but my bedroom definitely needed a lot of work. I had a lot of things I needed to get rid of. So I've recently been listening to Decluttering at the Speed of Light by Dana White. I wanted to listen to this book just to kind of give me some guidance while I am decluttering, to help me do it a little bit more organized and focused so that I'm not constantly decluttering like all throughout the year. A lot of times I feel like I will declutter and then a few months later I'm decluttering again in the same exact areas and the mess just continues to pile up. So I wanted to try something a little bit different this time. So I listened to this audiobook and it's a really good audiobook. I definitely suggest you listen to it if you are someone like me who's always dealing with mess around the house or just always trying to declutter. So I followed a lot of the tips and advice that Dana gives in this book. Some things I did do a little bit differently because I kind of was already in the process of decluttering when I started listening to the book. But once I got all of the tips down, I definitely started putting them into place moving forward. So first I'm going to start with my drawers. Now when I'm doing the drawers in my bedroom, I'm only going to be doing my clothes. My husband had already decluttered a lot of his stuff at the beginning of the year and he's pretty good at not having things clutter up again. So I started off just pulling everything out of my drawers, and what I was doing in the beginning was pulling things out, folding them up neatly and putting them back in a little bit more organized. But when I take Dana's advice to declutter at the speed of life, it's best to pull everything out, sort it out, get rid of what you're going to get rid of, donate what you're going to donate, and then just put everything kind of back into place until you have time to go through and organize it. So if you're new to my channel, I am a wife and a stay-at-home mom. I have 2 boys. My older son is 8 and my younger son is 2. They go to school. So my older son goes to elementary school, but my younger 2-year-old, he goes to daycare part-time. So I only have a few hours of the day when he is not home with me. So I have to get as much done around the house as possible while he is not home. And a lot of times when I'm decluttering, sometimes I will pull everything out and create a bigger mess than what I started with. And then when it's time for me to go pick him up, I'm left with a huge mess. So what I did on this first day was I just went through all of my drawers. I pulled out everything that I wanted to get rid of. And then I kind of just put everything back in the drawers that I was keeping. This way I don't have a huge mess all around my room. It's just my drawers need to be organized. But the good thing is when it's time for me to go back and fold and organize everything, it's going to be a lot easier because I'm going to have a lot more space. So this was my first pile of items that I have pulled out while I was decluttering. These are all items that I felt like I've been holding on to for way too long, or I couldn't fit, or items that were too small that I just was convincing myself that one day I would definitely lose enough weight to get back into my favorite jeans. I decided to let those go, and it was a little bit easier for me to let those go after listening to the audiobook. And also a lot of times whenever I do have a change in my weight, whether it's up or down, I like to go shopping anyway, so it's better for me to just donate these items than hold on to them, knowing that if I do lose weight, I'm probably going to want to reward myself with a new pair of jeans anyway.
I'll keep my head high while we're crossing the land. With all the minds we lay down, it's gonna take us some time, but I won't give up, though I know it is tough. We need to break our patterns. It's better now than after we have drifted off too far. Let's tear down these walls our destiny has called. We're walking down a path and the wind will change at last, like a song about our past. So I'll just close my eyes and dream about our kids and how they're running around. Won't you come and lay
As I was going through all of my clothes, I realized that there were so many things that I had been holding on to since before I had my older son Jackson, who is 8, and I just realized like I've been holding on to these items for way too long. Some of them were brand new items that I had never worn before that I couldn't fit, or I just wasn't comfortable wearing them for whatever reason, but I just would not let them go because they were brand new. But going through this process and just really decluttering and recognizing that I would rather have this space in my home to comfortably put all of my things away, knowing that I have space to put laundry when it's time for me to fold and put laundry away, definitely felt better. And it also felt good to donate these items, knowing that someone who really may need them is going to have them instead of them just sitting piled up in the back of my drawers. I had a huge pile of things to get rid of, so what I did was I sorted it. There were some items that I just did not feel comfortable donating or giving away. Those items I did throw away. The rest of the stuff I did bag it all up. So I think I had a total of like 3 huge trash bags. 2 of the bags were going to be donated. 1 of the bags was going into the trash. Once I finished working on those, I decided to also go ahead and work on my nightstand. This was also full of items that I'd had for years that I would just kind of just shove in here and not really pay much attention to. And one of the things that I'm so guilty of doing whenever it's time for me to declutter is I will focus more on organization and making it look good instead of actually decluttering and getting rid of things. So this definitely felt really good also to just know that I'm getting rid of things. I'm not just going to make this look good, because I feel like organizing is sometimes how the mess comes back, because it looks good and it looks really aesthetically pleasing, but the mess is bound to come back because no container can hold too many things. Like, it's just too small of a space with too many items in it. My jewelry drawer was definitely one of them. I had an insane amount of accessories that I have just collected over the years. Like I said, a lot of this stuff I've had since we moved into our home, and that was before I had my older son Jackson. So there were just so many things that I was holding on to, and I just would always purchase like new organizers to put my jewelry in, but yeah, I always ended up with the same junk drawer of jewelry mess and tangled necklaces. So what I did as I went through this drawer is I really just only picked out my favorites, and what I could put in my little jewelry box is all that I could keep. And if it didn't fit in there, I got rid of it. That is one of the really big tips in Dana's book, is pick a space to put your items in and only keep what you can fit comfortably in that space. If it does not fit, you need to let it go, or pick your favorites and put your favorites in there, and whatever else, it either needs to be donated or thrown in the trash if it's something that can't be donated. This was really good advice for me because, like I said, I just would always be that person who, when things would get out of control and too messy, I would just think, oh, I need to organize it, or oh, I need to come up with a new way to organize it, or oh, I need to go on Amazon and find a different container to store it all in to prevent the mess from coming back. When in actuality, I just needed to get rid of it. Now, as you can see, I was just looking at sonogram photos from my younger son, Lincoln, and that was an item that I really struggled with. You'll see those pop back up a few times in the video because I really was kind of torn between keeping the sonograph photos or getting rid of them. And you'll see later, I'm actually going to look at them and realize that I don't recognize some of the photos, and some of them are from early on in my pregnancy when Lincoln was just a little bean, so it's not really much to see. So what I did was I did keep a few, but I did get rid of anything that I could not recognize. But another one of the rules in Dana's book is if you do decide to keep something, go put it away where it belongs. Where would you look for it if you were to put it somewhere? So I did go ahead and put those photos away once I did decide which ones I was going to keep.
Saw you from across the room. When our eyes met, I never could feel this way, and it's kinda strange. Don't even know your name. I don't know you, but I want to get to know you. Just wanna get to know you. I don't know you, but I want to get to know you. Just wanna get to know you.
So because my nightstand was such a small space and so easy to organize, as I put everything back in there, I did just go ahead and decide to organize that all once I started putting everything away back in there. It was super simple for me to just put it in neatly and organized. And then the things that I had left out on my bed were things that needed to be put away in different spaces where they belong throughout the house. Now there were some things left on the bed, like you see the sonogram photos again that I'm looking at again, trying to make a decision on if I'm going to keep them. And this is the roll that I rolled out. And I noticed some things I could not, and I used to be really good at looking at sonogram photos. I don't know when you're pregnant if that's why. It's super easy for me to spot out every part of the baby. But on this day, I was looking at it and I had no idea what I was looking at in some photos. So the ones that I had left out on my bed, those are the ones that I finally decided to go ahead and toss those. And I did keep some others, and I put those away where I kept my older son Jackson's, his sonogram photos, in an area where I keep all of our photos. And the good thing about decluttering and organizing, I feel is once you get started, the momentum to keep going just kind of flows. So once I finished doing my nightstand, I wanted to work on this little basket that I keep on my nightstand. This basket I got when I had Lincoln, and I would store diaper rash cream and diapers and breastfeeding things and snacks like that on my nightstand throughout the night, just so whenever I would have those late nights with him, I would have everything that I need right there on my nightstand. Now Lincoln is 2 now, so we don't have a whole lot of late nights anymore, but I still liked having this basket because it is a really good space to keep things that I need handy in the middle of the night or just even in the evenings or early mornings. So some things that I will keep in here over time, sometimes medication. I usually like to keep a thermometer in here because for Lincoln and my older son, whenever they are sick in the middle of the night, the first thing they do is come over to me. So it's really good for me to have that close by on hand so I can check to make sure we aren't dealing with fevers or anything like that. But this basket did get out of control over the time that it's been here and just started to collect things that didn't belong here. So I went through and I got rid of things that shouldn't have been in here, and I have a bunch of earrings that I wear on a regular that needed to be put away, and it felt so good to have a space to put my little earrings and not just worry about dumping them in that drawer, which is why they weren't in that drawer in the first place, because they're little stud earrings, and I know that if I put them in that drawer, I'm probably never going to see them again. But it felt really good putting them in a space where I know exactly where they are. They're easily accessible. It's just so great to have this area completely decluttered and organized. So these are the items that I am donating. That was a bag of donations. This is just a bag of trash, things that I've had that I should have gotten rid of a long time ago. And this huge bag is all full of donations also, things that I'm so happy they're going to be going to a home, to someone who needs them. And again, the momentum just kept flowing, so I decided to go through my perfumes and get rid of anything that I was not wearing. So I loved having a perfume collection, but I had to admit to myself that I reach for the same few perfumes all the time, and some of these bottles I've had for way too long. I'm sure the fragrances don't even smell the same. They're just not my favorite for whatever reason. Some of them were gifted to me and never really were my favorite, and I just didn't let them go. So I decided to go through and get rid of those also. Now we are moving into my master bathroom, and we're going to be working on this cabinet. Now this cabinet space is just full of all of my items. Like I said, my husband doesn't have a lot. He's really good at letting things go and not bringing them back in. Me, not so much. I have a habit of holding on to things, I always have this in my mind that there's going to be a regret of, oh my God, I need this, I had it and I threw it away, or I need this, I had it and I donated it. So it's really good for me to be listening to this audiobook as I'm decluttering, just kind of reminding me that the peace of mind of knowing that I have space to comfortably put things away in their spaces and not have to worry about constant like clutter or mess piling back up is more important than worrying about possibly having the regret of missing something that I once had. So I decided to go through all of my skincare products, all of my hair care products. I just pulled everything out in my bathroom and went through, because when it comes to skincare, I have a cousin who's into skincare just like I am, and she's in the beauty industry, so she gets a lot of products sometimes, and she will gift me products to try, and sometimes, all the times, I will try these products. They will not work for me, or I will not like them, and because they're brand new or they are full bottles, if I don't know anyone that I can like give them to who would like them, I will just hold on to them and convince myself that I'll try them again someday, even though my skin has already told me it doesn't like these products. I should just let them go. I should get rid of them. And donating skincare products just isn't as easy as like donating clothes or donating shoes. I don't even know where to start when it comes to like donating skincare products, so I always hold on to it. So it was really good for me to go through this stuff. So a lot of the stuff that I pulled out on this day, I either gave it to my little cousins or I just went ahead and I tossed it in the trash, because a lot of items, especially skincare items like body care items, they do have a shelf life. And I had to acknowledge that some of these things I have kept much longer than their shelf life, and nobody should be using them. So I went through everything. I threw away what needed to be thrown away, and I gave away to my little cousins what I could give away.
And we could have some fun. No problems coming in our way. I would like you just the way you are. And you would like me just the way I am. And I would like you just the way you are. The way you are. Oh. Keep on doing what you do, doing what you do. Just keep on doing what you do, doing what you do, doing what you do, what you do, doing what you do. Do what you like to, what you like to do, what you like to, what you like to, what you like to do. We shouldn't care about anyone or anything that brings us down. We shouldn't care about anyone who brings us down. Doing what you do, doing what you do. Just keep on doing what you do, doing what you do, doing what you do, doing what you do, doing what you do. Do what you like to, what you like to do, do what you like to, what you like to, what you like to do. Just keep on doing what you do, doing what you do, doing what you do, doing what you do. Do what you like to, what you like to do, do what you like to, what you like to, what you like to do. I'm out of reasons.
So after I did my skincare products, I went through my hair tools, and these are the things that I had left that I decided to also give away for donation. These are 2 flat irons and a blow dryer that I have had for a very long time. They still work just fine, but I do not use them. I never reach for them. I have a blow dryer that's my favorite, and I have a flat iron that I love to use. These, I just don't like using them. So I decided to go ahead and donate those. And after I finished in there, I took a break that day and went and picked up the boys. And now it is the next day, and you guys will notice a change in my clothes. So the day before I had on shorts and a t-shirt. I live in South Florida, and our weather is very tricky, so I'm wearing jeans and a long sleeve sweater because it was so cold and rainy. It is actually still cold and rainy here right now. We had really bad weather. Like our storm was really bad last night. So many people are without power today. There was like debris all over the roads, but it is very cool and rainy here right now. It's super cozy, which I'm enjoying because it is giving the fall feels. We don't get a whole lot of that. I talk about that on my channel a lot. But now it's the next day and I wanted to just go ahead and tidy up my room, kind of get it cleaned up in here. And I wanted to go back because I had the time to actually fold and organize my clothing that I sorted out the day before and I decluttered. So I'm going to go back through everything and I'm just going to fold and neatly put everything away in its perspective spaces. Doing this also helped me to pick out anything that the day before I may have been holding on to that I should have let go. But just seeing it again, and when it was time to like fold and put stuff away, there were like 2 or 3 pieces that I pulled out and I added those to my donation pile as well.
Like it is, bend open my heart like you're fearless. Steal all the gold you can get. Show me your love, leave me breathless, breathless.
So once I finished folding all of my clothes and putting them away, I did rearrange a lot of my drawers and where I would keep things before. So like my leggings, I put them in this smaller little cabinet drawer because they fit in here perfectly now. Before I had a huge drawer full of like leggings, sweatpants and things like that. That was just really ridiculous. There's no reason for me to have a huge drawer full of leggings. First of all, leggings don't take up that much space. So for me to be able to fill an entire drawer, and it's a drawer bigger than most, with just leggings is actually ridiculous. So it felt really good to be putting these in a space that I feel like is more fitting. And I put my shirts in the bigger drawer that my leggings were in, and as you can see, my shirts didn't even fill that drawer. I put my tank tops in a smaller drawer, and I was able to also put them in a way where I could see everything I had, so I wouldn't have those days of thinking I don't have anything to wear, or those days when laundry gets really low and I'm like digging for something and I'm like, oh, I forgot I had this shirt. Like I can now see it all. I know what I have. I also feel like getting rid of this many clothes and bringing it down to just kind of the bare bones of like the limits of what my drawers can hold will definitely make doing laundry so much easier, because I won't have a whole lot of laundry to allow to pile up into like an insane amount of laundry. So once I finished with all of my clothes and getting those put away, I just wanted to go ahead and continue cleaning up my room to get this space like all cleaned up.
So shameless, can't get enough. I've lost you, but I need you, and you're off my radar now. I've lost you, telling you that I need you, but you're off my radar now. I'm like an outcast from pillar to post. There's no denial, I'm chasing ghosts. I'm like an outcast from pillar to post, hitting you up but I'm stuck on hold. Is it really a bad reception out there? Where are you heading? Why ain't gravity pulling you in closer to me? Yeah, I've lost you, but I need you, and you're off my radar now. I've lost you, yeah, I lost you, telling you that I need you, but you're off my radar now. I've lost you, I've lost you. was at the wrong place at the right time. 'Cause suddenly there you were with those bright blue eyes. We were conversing under the night sky.
So while cleaning my nightstand, I noticed that there was a lot of dust and like a lot of things that were up under the nightstand. So I decided to go ahead and just pull that out so that I could get that whole entire space behind it all cleaned up. Now, a lot of this stuff piled under my nightstand came from me storing like my planners and my books up under my nightstand. And also, like I said, my nightstand would be kind of the place to be for anything that I needed at nighttime. And when things would get knocked over, if I didn't move them right away, I would totally forget that they were there. So I wanted to pull that out and just make sure that there was nothing left under there. And I wipe everything down with the Swiffer duster. I just use it kind of like a handheld rag. And I was gonna sweep in this area, but there was so much dust on the floor and I have allergies. So I use the Swiffer duster for everything to try to make sure that I don't have a lot of dust floating in the air. So before I swept, I wanted to wipe the floor down and that whole area behind the nightstand down. Just wipe that down with the Swiffer duster to ensure that there would not be any dust flying up in the air to upset my allergies, because that would just be really bad right now, especially with the holidays coming up. I've just been trying to avoid anything that bothers my allergies, because for me, it usually always turns into a cold. So I do my best to avoid that. And lately, anytime that I pull any furniture out and it reveals some baseboards that I don't see often, I have been taking the opportunity to just wipe those down. So I wiped it down with the duster first, and then I just sprayed some disinfecting spray on it and went over it with a microfiber towel just to make sure that there was no dirt lingering on it. And then I just went ahead and put the nightstand back in place and plugged all my stuff back in. And again, for my husband's nightstand area, his didn't need a lot of attention because he doesn't store anything under his nightstand. He keeps what he keeps on top of his nightstand pretty simple, so I'm always able to clean under it and like wipe those off. So he just had a receipt left over. I got rid of that and kind of just wiped it off with the microfiber towel. Wow, that was really hard to say. I just wiped his off, just to make sure there was no dust lingering around on his. I'm struggling with microfiber today. I don't know why that word is a word for me today.
You're my best friend. Didn't care about the rules, good on the weekends. I'll be in fools, drifting to deep space. So brave and so stupid, just like the movies. I was gonna stay in the fight with you, just thinking we would do this until we couldn't do it. Each and every high, every night with you. You and me so clueless. We were just broken, shattered, singing along to nothing matters. Stray around like nighttime rumors. We were in too deep. In your worn-out sweaters, thinking we'll be young forever. Driving in your mom's old hatchback, and we were in.
And now we are all done in my bedroom. All of my drawers are decluttered. I am not hiding any messes in here. If someone comes over and wants to come in my room or see something in my room, I don't have to worry about like a drawer possibly being open and overflowing. It is all neat and organized and just not busting open every drawer that you look at. Also, if you noticed on my bed, if you're not new to my channel, I do have a lot less pillows on my bed. That is also something that I decluttered while I was working. I did get rid of quite a few pillows off of my bed. I just felt like it was looking really messy all of the time whenever my bed wasn't made, and even when my bed was made, it was starting to feel like a lot, so I got rid of those also. Now we are going to do the same thing in my bathroom. Now that I've decluttered the cabinets and the drawers in here, I just want to go ahead and clean up and just tidy up in here. It wasn't a huge mess, I just needed to wipe things down, so I decided to go ahead and do that before moving on.
I'm in love with all your lights and your colors. I'm in love with all your nights. But you've kept me far away from my focus.
And we are all done. I really hope you all enjoyed today's video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. I will see you guys in the next video. Make sure you're subscribed so you can stay along with me for all of the cleaning and decluttering.
Stop.